Subsolutionaries, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Maj 2 Ray Show. Want to tap in. Thank you all. I am Maj 2 Ray, your host. And we having a discussion today of Republicans betraying the base. They're using Charlie Kirk's name and his death to push a leftist agenda. Very, very interesting topic tonight. Y'all know the rules. Come in, hit me up. Let me know where y'all watching from, what platform. You're watching on YouTube, comment. If you're watching on X, comment, repost, quote, post. Share the space all over the place. We have to have honest discussions about what is happening on the right. And that's what it's looking like right now. Shouts to everybody that's tapping in. KP, what's up? Mad Boy, what's up? Mad Boy was in here early. Appreciate you. Again, guys, share all over the place. And we ask everybody, if you have a small business, if you know somebody doing a good business, if you know somebody doing some community work, we ask you to get them promoted. We try to get 10 folks to put up $20 in super chats every single night. Obviously, you guys know that's $200. That goes towards our work. Firearms basics, conflict resolution, stop the bleed training. All of these different things from all around the country for the last 8 years have been that way because of your voluntary donation. So I'm going to ask everybody to do that. And if you're not on YouTube, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Appreciate you. Hey, Mad Boy, did you get my email? Hit me up. Peace, Mahagan, what's up? Mahagan's a solutionary. She's in Solutionary University. Mahagan is working out. Mahagan has lost a gang of weight. Mahagan is getting stronger. Mahagan is fighting the good fight as a solutionary. And we just encourage everybody to step up and be on that. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to re-email you then, Mad Boy. I got you. I ain't forget about you. I missed your first one, then I got back at you. But it might be, yeah, check again. Appreciate you. So, Black G92 checking in from Augusta, Georgia. What's up? Listen, y'all. This thing is getting wild. I want to keep it a buck with y'all. This is going further and further left than I anticipated. I've always been a person that since I was raised Democrat, then I became Republican. Then, obviously, you guys know I'm a libertarian. So around 2017, I became libertarian. The ideology that I was looking for, what's up, Bookworm? The ideology that I was looking for that I thought Republicans were about, it was far gone. And huge shouts to my guy, my brother, Mike Heiss. He's been real low-key lately. He's been an amazing figure for the liberty movement. He's the founder of the Mises Caucus. I challenge everybody to look into libertarianism. If you decide to join the party or link up with me if you got questions. But my point in saying all of this is I joined from Democrat to Republican because I was a follower of or student of and an admirer of folks like Booker T. Washington, folks like Frederick Douglass, top tier Hall of Fame, best Republican/conservative abolitionists of all time. And when I noticed that that's not what was happening in the Republican spaces, you know, I was kind of politically homeless and then went in the direction of libertarianism as a party, okay? And it's because of things like this. And the conversation has been brewing. This conversation's been spinning from this horrible murder of Charlie Kirk, and that slid into a different conversation of cancel culture. We had that discussion last night, and that spun into the government being involved in cancel culture and Republicans supporting it, okay? And I made it a few days ago. As soon as I started getting a whiff of this, if you guys tapped in last night as I shared, I started going, nah, this ain't looking right. So let me remind people what government does. And no, that was September the 14th. Less than a day later, the J.D. Vance and all of these different, they already talking about the Charlie Kirk Act and all of these different things where government is going to attempt to corral your cancel culture. The culture that you, meaning people on the right, said that they were not going to be a part of, was in opposition to it. And now the state, I want to be very clear, this is not looking like a red wing, red bird, blue bird, red wing, left wing thing. This is looking like just different speeds of the same foolishness. And so after this Charlie Kirk's assassination, and there being so much confusion around that, so much misinformation, so much deflection, so many contradictions, Kash Patel shouldn't even be talking. This is an open investigation. You shouldn't even be talking. If I had an open investigation, I wouldn't talk about it. So my point in saying this is, I want you guys to understand this trajectory, because when I'm saying, hey, we should be pushing back against cancel culture for the last few days, and I've been saying they're going to 1000% weaponize this against you, I'm getting pushback. I want to be clear, I got some good civil pushback too. Huge shouts to Dan Holloway from the Drinking Bros podcast. We've been going back and forth. He believes in this form of cancel culture in the name of free market. And I want to be clear about that. These conversations are supposed to be, civil, and there's points to be made on both sides. Now, I want to be clear. Tonight's show is showing you the direction that this is going, slightly where it came from, and how we can protect from it going in a different direction, in the same direction it is going, but at a massive pace, speeding towards authoritarianism. Okay. But again, givesendgo.com/solutionary guys. Make sure you support. We are trying to get our next $3,600 earmarked for any women, or anyone, but mostly women. Men, if you're a little messed up, you want to take the class for free, hit me up too. This next $3,600 in fundraising is going to be earmarked to people, more specifically women, that want to defend their life. But this is coming out of our fundraising for the day, I think we're on day 48 or something like that, counting down to Halloween to hit our goal. We need 489. Let me check real quick. I don't know. We need a decent amount of $100 donors. So I'm going to ask everybody, if you get some value from the show tonight, support the work. It ain't even if you get some fucking value. Y'all get value from me every single night. Talking points, perspective, challenges, entertainment. That's what we do. Support the work. givesendgo.com/solutionary. But anyway, guys, Osman just said something great. He said, it feels like 9/11 all over again. Next, the government will try to pass the Charlie Kirk doxing bill. They actually starting to work on that. And I got some of this information here. Okay? It's not sides. It's a circle. And we're in it. Okay? It's not a right wing or a left wing. It's like people just like, yo, the earth ain't flat. Earth ain't round, it's flat. It's low-key reverse that. It's not sides. It's them utilizing any tragedy at their disposal to strengthen the arm of the state. And I believe that there are characters in this that are outside of the general, like, hey, it's just Trump being mad at Biden. I don't think that y'all understand how potentially dangerous Peter Thiel is. I don't think y'all get it. But before we go too far, I'm going to play some of the videos. We're going to have discussions. I want you guys to challenge me in the comment section. Okay? If you're watching on X, hit the repost button. I can see who hits repost. Support the work and spread it all over the place. Pause. All right? But this shit is getting goofy. And this is the perfect time for us to be, if you're a libertarian, if you see something that's wrong with the current GOP and Republican situation. I'm going to play this by Pam Bondi right here because that's what y'all came for. And we're going to go further than that tonight. But if you see something that's wrong with this situation and you know that they're not conserving the Constitution, then there's too many contradictions. I would, one, tell you all to become a part of our solutionary community. That's number one. And I say that even before looking into libertarianism, because if you look into libertarianism, you're going to look into the Libertarian Party. And I'm going to keep it a buck. There's some goofballs with big microphones in there. So I'm going to lean you to Solutionary University, but I'm also going to lean you into libertarianism, right? If you feel like you definitely know that the Democrats ain't where you need to be. If you are a Republican and you're like, this shit is a little weird. They acting a little goofy with it. I 1000% tell you you're welcome at Solutionary University. Come be a solutionary. And kind of low key, you're going to learn about liberty and libertarianism or things that encompass that as a solutionary. But let's play this little quick clip by Pam Bondi. This is on the Kate Miller's podcast. I don't know how these AGs and governors and at war, Zelensky, I don't know how they find time to do podcasts all the time. But somehow they do. But anyway, I'm going to play this real quick. Let me know if the audio is good. Y'all give me some comments in the comment section. Let's play this real quick and we'll go over it shortly.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society,
do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle. There's free speech, and then...
Now, I want to be very clear. I actually understand what people that believe in hate speech think they mean. I know what they mean, because she sounds like every leftist that I've ever heard. I know what they think they mean. First, we need to explain what the difference between a liberal, so-called liberal, modern day terminology of liberal, and a so-called conservative is. James says, show the economy. A liberal believes in a moral, the country should go in a good direction. Okay? They are willing to use the power of the state, the heavy hand of the state, to force people into doing better. Conservatives believe that we should just be better, and that individual, the smallest republic, which is the individual, impacts himself, herself, their family, their neighborhood, their community, and it goes out that way and society goes for the better direction. They believe that the government should be out of it as much as possible because we are representatives of the government. Okay? So it's just, they really believe, both of these people believe, that this is going in a direction of trying to make people be right. So I want to be very clear. We're going to be objective. I think she's a fucking DEI hire, 1,000%. Very clear. Pam Bondi's a DEI hire. No doubt about it. But I want to give y'all some insight into the mind of what these people are trying to say, especially if you don't have sound understanding of society, history, and what government does. And when you're in the halls of government and thrust in front of a microphone every 10 seconds, like you would be under a Trump administration, because there's cameras everywhere, you're attempting to say things that sound like they're the right thing to say. Because if I say, I don't care about hate speech, right? People on the left, African Americans, might say I'm a sellout, right? Leftists on the, that happen to be of a different whatever background might say, oh, you hate your own people, right? So I understand what they mean, but they're wrong. Okay? They're wrong. Why? Because the terminology of hate is not something that you can legislate away. It's like trying to legislate. There's already rules against murder. Like, don't murder people. Okay, cool. We won't murder people. No problem. Since we're not murdering people, we are murdering people, even though there's a law for it. So what she's in essence trying to say is we want to go after people, and she's trying to pretend as if she's looking bipartisan. Hey, because this is across the aisle. We don't want anybody to da-da-da-da-da-da. That is cap. And she may be saying it for whatever her reason is, but the powers that be, the state, the entity, or the Iron Bank, the people that control those levers of power, they will 1,000% use her little, hey, I'm just trying to say the right PR thing, to then support it with legislation. And that legislation will put more and more people under the gun, so to speak, or the boot of the government. Okay? It is absolutely horrendous and wrong for this person to say, we will go after you with the full might of the federal government if you're doing hate speech, because she's an attorney. And since she's an attorney, she's supposed to know that speech, all speech, that's like when people say gun violence. There's no such thing. It's just violence. Violence with a bat, violence with one of these phones, violence with a comb, a pen, doesn't matter. Just violence. So she's supposed to know that. But I understand the PR spin that she's trying to do I'm going to give her the benefit over doubt. She's attempting to look like I'm crossing the aisle. But the concept is flawed from the gate. I don't need you to give me, if somebody's a so-called Ku Klux Klan member or white supremacist and they kill somebody, right? It doesn't do anything for me that they got life and then they got plus 2 more years because it's a hate crime. That does absolutely nothing. I want you to chase the person that killed somebody and get them, and that's that. There's nothing else to have be said about it. But if you can't articulate that well, you get caught up in this political cross because we're doing this red-blue thing on a lower level. It looks like you don't care about black people, Asian people. You don't care about any so-called minority, which is actually the majority when you collectively look at it. You don't care about those people. So I understand the PR spin, but you got to get better at articulating the point. One of the greatest things that you guys are going to pull from my show every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. is your ability to speak to the issues better. I am skilled at translation and translating it for you guys to go, I understand what you mean, but the damage and the challenge of saying that in your position, Pam Bondi, is who determines what is hate speech? Okay? And they make this statement because I believe that a lot of them don't really get it. Sometimes, and I said this all through COVID, Mad Boy, I just got your email. All right, cool. I see it right here. I'm going to hit you right after the show or email you. The problem is they get out of office after a while. And that those iron bank hands, the real levers of power, like the people that determine interest rates, that want to lock down, revolutions don't make for sound investments. People working together and growing food and not just having an empty lawn that looks great in the front. People working together, growing food, forming a better supply chain, working with Bitcoin, saying no thank you to government. That is not a good investment. So we as the Iron Bank, those hands, we want you guys to stay in a nice little controlled bubble. So even if Pam Bondi means well, she's saying things that when that pendulum swings, when she's out of office, which I don't think she ever should have been in office, she was disqualified for me from the gate as soon as I heard her have that conversation about all of that anti-gun shit down in Florida. And this was a while ago. This is before she was even, this might have been like 2017, 18. I already was like, because I be in Florida often. I was like, yeah, she's bugging. You in super pro-gun Florida. Red flag Bondi. No, thank you. So when Trump picked her, and we're going to go into this tonight, guys, make sure you all hit the like button. Make sure you all reposting the show all over the place. All right? But when I saw her, I said, why would Trump pick her? It's not just because she's cute. Oh, because down in Florida, where Epstein was given a little bit of immunity, she was overseeing that. Did y'all know that? See, and this ties into the overall conversation for tonight. The Republicans are doing all of these things to limit your speech and make you feel bad if you ask questions about the Epstein list. None of us right now, Kash Patel, and I got some footage of it for you tonight. Right now, or earlier today, Kash Patel is sitting down in Congress having discussions, and Kash Patel is literally sitting in front of there saying there is no credible evidence that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked young people to anyone but himself. Verbatim. While we're talking about cancel culture, and this woman that's promoting cancel culture on the federal level that was involved in giving Epstein immunity in his case down in Florida. Down where, not too far from Mar-a-Lago. So when we're talking about cancel culture, when you say why maybe, when you're talking about those people at that high level that have dirt on people, when we're talking about a Peter Thiel, who's damn near walked J.D. Vance into the vice presidential seat. Okay? Now we're talking about this divide that we looking over here at the sleight of hand, all because of Charlie Kirk that died, which is 1,000, not died, got murdered in front of people. Unless you believe the theory that he's not really dead, but that's a whole nother sidebar. Okay? Saying this to say, when you start connecting those dots, then you start to go, oh, okay, either you are a part of the let everybody look over here, or you're a useful idiot. In 2020, I had a struggle believing that government was that stupid. And it was like a mixed bag for me. It was, there's no way that they're this incompetent. When we would go into a restaurant, right? And they would say, you got to put your mask on until you sit down. So let me get this straight. As long as I'm standing up, COVID can't get me. And that's the rule. And the federal government and local government made this rule. It was so much incompetence that I was like, there's no way that people are this stupid. There's no way that government's this stupid. But you would be surprised how stupid government is. And they become useful idiots. The difficulty is determining who's just a moron and who's like an idiot savant and who's actually an evil genius. I think a Pam Bondi's a moron that's going to do what's told. She is a team player. She is a team player. And now she's saying this. I'm going to play it again. Guys, for the new folks that's tapping in for tonight, make sure everybody, let's get the likes up. Let's get the shares up. It's 330 of some of y'all watching right now. A couple of hundred y'all watching on X. Everybody on X, hit the repost button. Like, what the fuck? Come on, y'all. Stop playing. Let's play this again.
There's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Now, let's be very clear. A lot of you conservatives championed this bullshit this whole weekend. I watched y'all this whole weekend. We went back and forth, and y'all, some of y'all wanted to argue with me. I said pull up to the show yesterday. Y'all didn't pull up to the show. I could dig it. I could 1,000% dig it. Y'all ain't, y'all, Y'all wanted to get mad at me because I said, that's not what Charlie Kirk believed in. I spoke to Charlie Kirk's events. I seen him. I ain't tripping. That's not what Charlie Kirk believed in. Y'all wanted to push back and forth, and y'all said, no, it's different because and it is to a certain extent different. To a certain extent. It's to a certain extent just because it's not government using the weight of the federal government to violate your First Amendment right. And that's true. It's not the federal government. That's the entire point of the Bill of Rights. And it seems as if everybody understands that now today, this week, even people on the left understand the absolute need. They understand that the First Amendment is absolute. They get it. But when I was saying the Second Amendment is right after it. 1, 2. It's not no new math. 1, 2. First Amendment's absolute. Second Amendment's absolute. Now we got people on the right saying, nah, but the First Amendment might not be absolute. You fucking contradictions. Y'all let this government that's building a surveillance state, a panopticon, from a Peter Thiel that literally is J.D. Vance's co-signer, bank for the longest time. The transhumanist, Peter Thiel, that believes in and is literally doing lectures on Satanism. Closed lectures. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Grok it. Y'all let this administration, that these types of people have their hooks in, then start to say, yeah, cancel culture's cool. Yeah, Rob, you ain't know that? Peter Thiel. Somebody put it in the chat. If I'm lying, I want y'all to always call me out on my bullshit. Call me out if I'm saying something wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what you can't, if I'm wrong, I just was wrong. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Peter Thiel is a transhumanist that is in Oakland going to be doing, I think it's Oakland, a series of lectures on Satanism. Somebody Google it and put it in, tell me if I'm lying in the chat. But this administration that has turned 1,000% feckless, soft, marshmallow. They came in like this. Now they like this, meek and humble. And I don't mean the meek shall inherit the earth. Oh, Big Rob says panopticon, panopto, whatever. A panopticon. Somebody Google it. I want y'all to look. You come. This is a classroom. A panopticon. I want somebody to Google the definition of panopticon and put it, copy and paste it, and put it in the chat. I'm gonna say what it is, but I want y'all to do it as well. I'll read it to whoever puts it up front. So y'all let this administration with these types of people around that has turned this damn near Avengers. I say this all of the time. They campaigned last March to November They look like the damn Avengers. Cash Patel, this, that, Tulsi Gabbard. We ain't even hearing from Tulsi. Okay? This happened. So when all of this was going on, you let this administration get in. Charlie Kirk gets killed, and I got all types of speculation in my head about Charlie Kirk. I don't want to go too far off the deep end for y'all, but I'm somewhere else with this Charlie Kirk shit, numerology and shit, right? But nonetheless, this happens, and they start going cancel culture, and culturally, y'all started accepting it. Y'all said it's different because it's the free market, and people just saying, hey, this person said this, and I'm going to go contact their employer. When they want to make legislation, they get you to buy in, and if they can get a buy-in, they go along with it. If you push back, they don't go along with it. So the conversation isn't about I'm judging you negatively for cancel culture. I'm telling you that they're using Charlie Kirk's death to get you to be like, yeah, cancel culture is cool. You start openly doxing people. Doxing, the shit that the left did and does. Dr. Tiki says, Panopticon, a social system or psychological state where individuals self-regulate their behavior because they are under constant, under constant, through though often unseen potential for surveillance. I'm not making this up. A panopticon. That's why your whole globe is surrounded by satellites. That's why they trying to make everybody streamers. So you start accepting the concept of cameras just watching you 24/7. Fuck your camera. I tap in with y'all once an hour a day. I give y'all some social media. My solutionaries in a private group can get me anytime. They can literally call me. Okay? Saying this to say, fuck your camera. But that's what a panopticon is. Okay? Peter's private lecture, The Antichrist, a 4-part lecture series in San Francisco. Of course it's in San Francisco. I said Oakland. Of course it's San Francisco. Of course. Of course. I'm not making this up. The social credit score is in the ushering of it. That's why, what's his name? X already has a social credit score. If you type the wrong words, if you put a link in your first post on X, right? They downgrade you. If you say rude words, there's an entire code. It's called tweet cred. TWEEPCRED. Every single thing that I'm saying, I want y'all to research. There's already a social credit score being implemented on X. If you don't do these things, we won't ding you. If you say certain things, we ding you. If a big person with a big following blocks you, you get a ding. I'm telling y'all, they're already structuring this. Peter Thiel founded PayPal with Elon. But in the middle of all of this, we see Charlie Kirk get murdered, and then you start going, them leftists was burning things down. I'm going to fight fire with fire. And that's exactly what the state wants you to do. Be stupid and get fire for fire instead of getting some water. And what happens? You ignore this. Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, all of it protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free. Charlie Kirk, this was May the 2nd, 2024. Charlie Kirk didn't say, but we should participate in cancel culture when I get murdered because people said mean things about me. I want to be clear. Everything that people are saying about Charlie Kirk and making fun of, the right made fun of Tamir Rice. They was laying on the ground with Arizona iced teas and Skittles when Trayvon Martin died. It's not me making it up. I'm not saying it was most conservatives or Republicans, but it was a thing because that person becomes a symbol. You definitely know they made fun of George Floyd because he becomes a symbol of the people that you don't like. So you start making fun of him. And the government goes, absolutely, because that pendulum just going to keep doing this. Yeah, it's every platform. It's conditioning you for a social credit score. And when you, as the conservatives, are the last people to do it, you go, we got to get rid of you because you're the last line of defense. My man Bobby says Charlie Kirk wouldn't silence anyone. He literally put a microphone in front of people and asked for dialogue. Let me be very clear. I agree with that. Charlie Kirk also was a clown that did racial-based, like, I've said this when he was live. I said it to him. It's not me. See, the thing is, y'all don't see my old stuff some of y'all don't see my old stuff from my old page because I got kicked off of X. Free speech platform. I got kicked off of X, though, after Elon bought it. But nonetheless, I would publicly say, like, yo, you doing it right. Angela Stanton King has exposed her own text with Charlie saying that type of shit. And he did. That's just what it is. You don't unify people. Let me tell you the power of unification. There would not be as many leftists attacking Charlie Kirk if he didn't have such divisive rhetoric at certain points. The whole, if I get on a plane and if it's a black pilot, like, shut the fuck up, bro. There's no reason to say that shit. That's like me saying, oh, since most convicted pedophiles happen to be white males, I don't know if I should be around, have my children around any white dudes. What the fuck does that mean? You're using the data to create division. Period. That's just what it is. And that does not mean that he didn't have other qualities. It just means that's in there. No, there's nobody, everybody knows I'm pro-black for like what people determine to be pro-black. I want the black community in which I live to improve so all of America improves. That's it. None of my white followers be like, Maj is race baiting. Do you know why? Because of how I articulate it. I don't look for areas to divide people based on race more specifically. And I still get the same harsh truths across. And nobody on the right is like, yeah, some goofballs will just say it. Oh, he's a race bait like the bots. But in reality, no real well-adjusted person without a fucking agenda can say, Maj goes out of his way to see how the evil whites. That's just not what happens. Because I know that our fucking fates are intertwined. And it's solutionaries versus the state. It's always been that. This new concept of talking about race and then blaming it only on Obama in 2012 while you say race-based narratives that you don't have to, that have been debunked, that shit is clown shit. But even with that being the case, Charlie Kirk still did not fucking deserve to get his fucking neck opened up. And what he's saying right here is true. And so if we want to honor this person, if you're on the right and you want to honor him, you don't start saying, I'm supporting cancel culture. Now, everybody agrees, everybody on the right, because nobody in the GOP likes fucking Pam Bondi except for fucking Trump for some reason. For whatever reason. Okay? Look at what Bobby said. The shit was called Black Guns Matter. Bobby was at our Baltimore class with the Stop the Bleed, and Bobby came to the cigar joint that we did in Philly, right? This, like, there is a way to articulate these things. If Bobby, who happens to be white, an American that happens to be white, probably wouldn't have came to the class if the vast majority of my rhetoric, if I would have been flooded with, well, you know, the whites hated the blacks since forever. It's repulsive. It does not. I have a spirit of unity. That does not mean pander. Right. That does not mean pander. It just means, yo, I'm not trying to unnecessarily for clicks. And I think Charlie had a part of that into his thing. He did. I see Nick Fuentes do it. I see Matt Walsh do it a little bit less aggressively. I see him do it. They're not advocate. Candace Owen did it early in the game. Some of the fastest ways, ironically, as they now advocate for cancel culture, but just not from the federal government. Do you know why I think they do that? Because they still want to say aggressive, bigoted shit that could be labeled as hatred. So they don't like Bondi. And they go, wait a minute, we don't want to do cancel culture that way. But they will participate in it, which sets the stage for legislation because they take advantage of the moment when a Charlie Kirk does die or somebody. They go, We're not this type of society. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. The federal government just blew up a fucking boat in Nicaragua, whatever country that was, Venezuela, like a couple of weeks ago. What the fuck you mean we not that? Yes, we are. We spent 20 years in a whole nother country that we lied about them having weapons of mass destruction. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay? You're doing the ironic thing. Shouts to Terry with the $10 super chat. I think we need like 15, 16 more people. Thank you. Terry says, silencing anyone will eventually silence us all. That's the point. The goal is to make all of you peasants, you goyim, all of y'all goys to the Iron Bank, you thugs, all of y'all. Y'all see last year, the CIA and the FBI designated Mike Glover's company, Fieldcraft Survival, a terrorist organization? You are the fucking problem. You fucking solutionary? What the fuck you think you're doing? So the whole point is to make everything hate speech so you don't say nothing. And you're in a panopticon and you better not say nothing. And we got AI and we automate. You will own nothing and you will fucking be happy. So they don't pay attention to the chessboard far away. They in their feelings. And they ignore what Charlie Kirk said here, which again, I agree with. I do not think that Charlie Kirk is this rampant racist that's like running around going like, death to the blacks. No, I think Nick Fuentes has more of that energy based on what I see. Based on what I see. I think Nick Fuentes is confused on certain levels. He know that if I didn't like Jewish people, I would know the Jewish shit too. Okay? That's what it is. But I don't think that's what he is. But his approach was definitely not, let's unite people. It just wasn't. It just, maybe towards the end it wasn't. I'll say it that way. Right? But I agree with him here. And why is it important for us to have that? Because otherwise you have this level of fucking contradiction. Sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like without cancel culture and censorship. Cancel culture is people like a culture of canceling your contracts and jobs because of the things that you said. That's Laura Loomer, March the 7th, 2025. Laura Loomer, September the 15th, 2025. So many people have been fired. I'm so proud of you guys. It's a contradiction. But Laura Loomer, even though she has connections and people in DC, maybe White House, whatever, don't care. Laura Loomer is an influencer that starts to influence the culture. And if the culture starts to accept it, then the legislation comes. Hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. It's a crime. For far too long, we've watched the radical left normalize threats, call for assassinations, and cheer on political violence. That era is over. Wait, so let's look at that one sentence right there. I'm agreeing with don't threaten somebody. First of all, if I'm going to do something to you, you're going to be the last to know. I'm not going to tell you at all. But that's a whole nother thing, right? Threats, call for assassinations, maybe. That's still free speech to me. But I'll give her that a little bit. But this is where I'm absolutely not. Cheer on political violence. This is where y'all should be going absolutely not. But not just for Pam Bondi. They get loud about this when they feel they have public sentiment. And when public sentiment is meaning everybody's agreeing with this concept, that means that general public is going to be okay with the legislation. That's why it's your job to go, I'm not participating in cancel culture, or at least own it. Say, I am definitely participating in cancel culture because I'm going to be contradictory. But you won't, like I said last night, you won't own it outright because you're scared. You know it's wrong. You know it's soft. You look like that contradiction that I just had of Laura Loomer. Under 18 U.S. Code 875C, it's a federal crime to transmit any communication containing any threat to kidnap any person or any threat to injure the person of another. Likewise, 18 U.S.C. 876 and 18 U.S.C. 115 make it a felony to threaten public officials, members of Congress, or their families. I'm cool with that. But ironically, that's not what these people were doing. Sorry, guys. We solutionaries, we got a higher standard. That's not what these goofball fucking weirdos were doing. They were celebrating because Charlie Kirk died. So when I scroll back up and say, cheer on political violence, I can't get with you on that. Because yes, you don't get the fucking right to tell me who I get to cheer for. Some people wasn't raised right, and they cheer for Dallas Cowboys every week. Their father just, I don't know. Maybe their dad was gay. We don't know. We don't know. If they're cheering on, that means they have a mental, they really think Dak Prescott was going to take them to the promised land. That's not only delusional, it's actually scary, mentally. I'm afraid if you're actively cheering for the Dallas Cowboys every single week. So because of that, do I get to say that's a hate crime? That person's delusional? They're crazy? They don't get guns? No, I don't get to do that. But it's clear that there's something wrong with them. Okay? So when somebody cheers on going back to political violence, they were cheering on something that happened. They didn't threaten. Most. They were just going, yeah, he's dead. Your main man dead. He dead. He got shot in the neck. Right? Y'all seen that? Bobby said, imagine bringing your hatred into Cowboys into a lie. Hey, I got to give you guys examples that everyone understands. We all know that the Dallas is delusional. The Dallas Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl since VHS. We don't even have DVD players anymore. This is delusional. I don't want to red flag them for they're clearly insane. Okay? We just gotta call it how it is. Okay? So she says you cannot call for someone's murder. You cannot swat a member of Congress. You cannot dox a conservative family and think it will be brushed off as free speech. These acts are punishable by crimes, and every single threat will be met with the full force of the law. That's so interesting. You can't dox a member of Congress or a conservative family and think it'll be brushed off. That's just so interesting to me. Because as she's saying this, right? I want to pull this up real quick. As she's saying this, there's an organization that was created a week or so ago. Maybe a week or so ago. And in the process of that week or so ago when this organization was created, their entire thing is to make a database to dox people in general. Oh, shit, hold on. I'm going to find this so I can bring it up to the screen for y'all. While I'm looking for this, y'all, hit the like button, smash the like button, support the work. Let's ask some questions real quick, but I want y'all to see this. Got it. Check this out. This is the Charlie Kirk Data Foundation. I bet y'all dollars to donuts that this is a fucking Fed page. They joined September 2025. I got it highlighted right there. We lawfully collect publicly available data to analyze the prominence of support for political violence in the interest of public education. These motherfuckers got 115,000 followers when I took this screenshot. They joined last week. They lawfully collect publicly available data to analyze the prominence of support for political violence in the interest of public education. So this is a database collecting organization that's going to make it public, and then the government can pick it up. Then it's no like government was doing something. They just took the data. So they cool with doxing the left. The concept is wrong. Don't dox anybody. But again, this happens because you guys on the right, we guys and gals, When we get in our feelings about somebody saying something about somebody that we like, we just say, fuck the rules. Fuck our principles. That's what we say. And that's what happened. Let's look some more. This is rich. A.G. Bondi has refused to prosecute multiple direct threats against me and my family. This is Eric Swalwell, the one that got caught banging the Chinese spy. Remember him? That guy? Everybody on the right was literally threatening his life a couple of years back. He's not lying here. I think he's a clown. He's an anti-gun moron, 1,000%. Now, is that hate speech that I said he's a clown? He's an anti-gun moron. Is that hate speech? When does it end? But this goofball, he's not wrong here. People on the right have threatened his life a bunch of times. I get death threats all the time. They never show up because they know, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm not asking for people to, come on, I get doxxed all the time. Come on. You ain't nobody show up. But my point in saying this is a contradiction. And now you make me gotta agree with Swalwell. I gotta agree with Swalwell. She didn't do none of this. Listen, they weaponizing the DOJ for their own interests. They're doing the same exact thing that they complained that the left, since Trump was in Trump Tower for his first run for office in 2015, started to run in 2015, which is now 10 years ago. They found microphones that fucking the Obama, DOJ, and FBI bugged Trump Tower. That is fact. That is a fact. But now, when he gets in office, what did he do a few weeks ago? They raided the house of who? Schiff? Was it Schiff? Was it Peter Schiff? I think it was. One of them. Oh, he had the documents. The documents that he had was wrong from the White House. Whoever that was. That's the same thing that the Biden administration did to Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Oh, he had the paperwork and the paperwork was wrong. They're using Charlie Kirk's death to push legislation. And what else do I mean by that? Not only what Attorney General said, but y'all made this okay. You got to be principled or not. Great news. The University of Miami neurologist Michelle Bravo has been fired for justifying Charlie Kirk's assassination. Not in Florida. We went from making threats about people, which I agree with. I don't make threats, and I don't think nobody should. Do it or don't. But don't make threats, right? Even though I still think that's free speech. But I'm going to extend the olive branch. Cool. We meet at don't make threats. But we went from threats of I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kidnap you, I'm going to dox you. We went to that to she justified Charlie Kirk's assassination. So now she gets fired. That is cancel culture. And that when you all on the right start going, yes, we're down with cancel culture, they see that as an opportunity to go, let's push the legislation now. And then it gets stupider. It gets dumber. It gets dumber. Yeah. Florida nurse at whatever this is posts deranged message celebrating Charlie's assassination. I'm cheering for the assassination. I don't mind saying it. He was a bastard. He wasn't. He had a mother and a father. Deserves to be amongst the dead. Should have been tortured. Now she's in healthcare. This is doxing. This is literally doxing. This is telling where somebody's document. That's her job. So you're saying that it shouldn't be done to us, but it's cool if we do it to them. And that's the culture. You're creating that culture. And it gets stupid. Here's where it gets really stupid. And I don't think a president should say shit like this. You can say whatever you want. I'm just saying you're supposed to be a little bit more diplomatic. And this is where the culture now starts to bubble up into legislation. But Maj is tripping. Maj, you making it cool for the leftists. No, Maj is maintaining a standard because otherwise you hear shit like this.
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech Is that, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
You'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe
that
they'll
be
come after
appropriate?
ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you.
Bruh. Big Rob just said, imagine his mindset in healthcare. All right, cool. Imagine his mindset of maybe we should come after you and the commander-in-chief. The person that literally commands the entire armed forces. Think about that for a second. You have hate in your heart and you say you treat me unfairly. So maybe I should send the might of the armed forces of America to come after you. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm tripping. I'm bugging y'all. That's presidential. It's not. I like Trump and I like democracy. This is a part of the reason why I could never be a president. Because I would be saying shit like that. I'll be calling people cock smokers, and I would. When I ran for city council, I'm gonna get better. Maybe the Illuminati will come get me, and maybe they'll like clean me up, right? And I'm telling y'all, I got a sellout number. It's $800 million. If y'all don't support, and I keep getting power, and I get too powerful, and the Illuminati show up with 200 million in Bitcoin or 800 million in cash and fiat, you're fucking done. I'm out of here. Just letting y'all know right now. You see me with a black and white Bentley, the same Bentley Continental GT. I've been very consistent in my sellout number in the two cars. If you see me with a black and white Bentley Continental GT, it's over. Don't go watch my old shit. Okay? But I'm saying this to say to you, I like Trump because I'm kind of like that shit. I literally told a donor when I was running for office in Philadelphia that was rude to me, I told him to eat a dick. I did. It's on the internet. Somebody earlier today was like, it's interesting that you ask people for donations for your work, but you call people idiots. If you're an idiot, I'm going to call you an idiot because you're an idiot. See, y'all so used to people tap dancing for money. I don't tap dance for the money. And maybe that's why we ain't bought the building fast as we should have. Okay? I don't tap dance for the money. I don't know if that's true, Big Rob. I heard that story. A couple people said it. I'm inclined to go that direction. I'm not going to say I don't know if it's true. Let me rephrase that. I haven't got a confirmation on that part of the story yet. That turned it down to 150 million. Okay? My point in saying this to y'all, though, is I'm the same. But I could understand if somebody will be critical of me for saying something like that. And when we're talking about this concept of the Constitution and free speech, let's play it again. Let's hear what he said.
Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech. Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
You'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you.
I'm not. That's what happens. That's what happens. But it ain't just that. No. What is he saying here? What Big Donnie saying here? And I want y'all to be very clear. If you thought because I'm being critical of Trump that I suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, I don't. Raised his children, got a family business, getting money. You know what I mean? There's certain things I like about him. There's other things. I can put that aside for his personality. I think that shit he just said was funny as hell. I think that's funny. Maybe we should go after you. It's mob shit. I like it. I like a wise guy. I'm not tripping. But if you're asking me to put my First Amendment hat on, no, you're not supposed to fuck. That's not what happens. But what does he say here?
And a woman, in many cases, women, you can see they're professional agitators. I had one the other night. I had 4 the other night, all in one group, total phonies. I started to scream when I got into a restaurant, oh, something with Palestine. And I said, well, I'm doing a great job for peace in the Middle East. I should get lots of awards for that, right? With the Abraham Accords and everything else. But a woman just stood up and started screaming. And she got booed out of the place, too. There were a lot of people in the restaurant. I went there to show how safe, and it was safe. I mean, the woman is just a mouthpiece. All she was a paid agitator. And you have a lot of them. And I've asked Pam to look into that in terms of RICO, bringing RICO cases against the criminal RICO, because they should be put in jail. What they're doing to this country is really subversive. Yeah.
So now you're mentioning bringing RICO acts. The RICO was created by Rudy Giuliani in like the 70s or 80s. It stands for Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organizations. If you can't say, no, that's not a RICO, bro. I like you, I rock with you, but that's not a RICO. The Overton window shifts in the direction of more authoritarianism. Now, if he's being tongue-in-cheek, I get it. And that's the part, as a tongue-in-cheek, funny situation, I'm with it. But this, and then you agree with it, and then you don't stop and go, wait, this is just joke time. You go, yeah, get them leftists. Then you start going, I'll have my attorney general look into it. This is not, listen, so when I'm telling y'all, and I'm saying, you have to be careful about this concept of, what's it called? Cancel culture. It's not me just saying it just because I'm like, oh, I just need to be mad. It starts to create more and more situations. And it's an overall thing. Politics is downstream from culture. Andrew Breitbart, that's his quote. Politics is downstream from culture. So the politics show up, the legislation shows up because the culture is in alignment with it. We have to have a culture of limited government, freedom, limits on government, not on you. We got it backwards. So the politics are reflective of that backwards culture. So when I'm saying you guys should not be doing cancel culture, it's not because I'm saying, yes, defend the leftists. I'm saying, how many times do y'all got to see that they're going to use this culture to create politics around it? This goofball right here is, what's his name? Destiny. First of all, any grown man named Destiny is 1,000% a meat gobbler. 1,000%. Schlong taker. 1,000%. So I'm always very leery of anybody named, Destiny, a man. If you're not a young child named Destiny, and I can look at you as like, oh, if you're an adult woman and your name is Destiny, I'm going to assume you're a stripper. If you're a guy and your name is Destiny, I'm definitely putting you in the smoker pile. Okay? But Destiny is right about how they just got him tagged, or they got him off of Twitch a while ago because of what he said. And this is what he said. And I want to be very clear. I don't agree with what he said. But let's listen to what he said.
Vance, so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's gonna be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next fucking 2 months. Need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now,
let's play.
Need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's gonna be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next fucking 2 months of shit I'm doing. Well, the cucked shit out here. Please don't anybody make any actual fucking, the most cucked, weak-ass, fucking bullshit-ass speeches on my side.
So when we hear people say that, now he's censored. I don't think that what he said was calling for assassination. I think he was saying, and I'm bringing this to a point. I think he's saying a thing, and the thing that he's saying is like, they're just not afraid. And if they were afraid, then their leadership would turn down the rhetoric. I don't think that that's something that should get you canceled. I have a shirt that says, make politicians afraid again. Should I get canceled? Should I get canceled? I got a picture of me in a shiesty on a drive-by, get you lit up scooter with a, you know what I mean? With a shirt on that says, make politicians afraid again. Should I get canceled? Does AG Pam Bondi think that I should get canceled for that? These are the slippery slopes that we're talking about, y'all. And when we start going in that direction, we start just opening this door for just back-to-back stupidness. Back-to-back stupidness. This is what I believe in. Dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. They want you to be peaceful slaves. They want you to say, we need to live in a society where people aren't afraid to be out. You should be aware, and you should be respectful, and you should be capable. I don't go outside just thinking that, oh yeah, it's just everything's Shangri-La outside, Nirvana, Valhalla, till Valhalla. That's not what I think. I think that there's cancel culture out there, and if you're strong, you should just disassociate from people that you don't like. Somebody has an opinion, you get to say that opinion. If you guys are not getting on board with this, should Maj be canceled? Let's open the call lines. Should Maj be canceled? Let's do it. Let's get 5-10 minutes of the call lines before we wrap up. Okay? Should I be canceled? But my point here, guys, is you should be able to be smart enough to associate and disassociate with anybody. When you start going into the direction of, let me find this person, to acknowledge them, to dox them, Janie says I should be canceled. Let's have a quick poll. How many people think that I should be canceled? I got a shirt that says make politicians afraid again. Do I talk too wild? I think I'm very corporate. If you want to call in, hit the button right there. It's on the screen and it's in the chat on YouTube. I think I'm corporate. But you should be intelligent enough to say, no. What they said was stupid. If it's a company that takes a position, because I don't see people, y'all still wearing Wrangler. Wrangler and Levi. Levi's anti-gun. Do y'all wear Levi's? They anti-gun. 505s, Leo, whatever their numbers is. Levi's 405, 505, whatever the number. I don't wear them. I don't buy them. Because they anti-gun. I don't wear or buy any more Carhartt shit. Do you know why? Because during the COVID regime, Carhartt forced their employees to take the jab or wear the mask or get fired. Can't do it. Can't do it. If you're trying to call in to talk about should I be canceled or just give me some pushback, it's in the chat. It's on the screen. And in the chat on YouTube, the link is there. Hit up. Hit the button. Drop the super chats. Protocol said drop the super chats. Guys, they're about to tell you that cancel culture is not cancel culture. They already started telling. They're going to rebrand it. The powers that be want the rebrand so they can push legislation after the rebrand because the culture has shifted. Politics is downstream from culture. So when you just going, yeah, that person is wrong, and you're morally correct that it is wrong to celebrate the death of somebody. 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay? It's wrong. But because you know it's wrong and you start shifting a culture in that direction, you start opening the door for legislation. Now, I do want to be clear. I want to be clear. Everybody pushed back against Pam Bondi because you don't like Pam Bondi. That's why. Because you don't like Pam Bondi. So everybody was like, Pam Bondi's a moron. Because if you GOP or Republican, and especially if you're in the South, Florida over to Texas, you know that she's anti-gun. You already don't like her. So you go, fuck Pam Bondi. When she says, yeah, we're going to go after them people, you say, fuck her. But you're not saying it when Trump says, yeah, well, maybe we should go after you. Maybe we should go after them. Maybe we should go after this people. Bondi is there because of Trump. That's called the fall of the favorite. You put a potential scapegoat up there. And that scapegoat, it says things, you check the temperature of everybody, and if they're not feeling it, you fall back. But you got a cat's paw. That's what she is. Come on, y'all. We got to know this. Meanwhile, this whole entire time, while all of this is going on, while all of we arguing all of this other silly shit about this, meanwhile, this happened.
You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
You've seen most.
I'm going to play this one more time. This was today. Don't worry about it. Epstein list, he trafficked. Epstein is dead because he allegedly killed himself because of his whatever. Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail and has been moved to a low security situation. It wasn't nothing. And now Kash Patel is saying there is no credible evidence. They got you chasing cancel culture to create legislation to get you to be quiet and not criticize Israel. Mind you, Marco Rubio put some information in the bill that went through. That was taken out yesterday, though. They've tried this about 4 or 5 times in the last 10 years. To be able to take your passport if you are critical of Israel. All of this is going on at the same time. So you might not be able to be critical of the Israeli government shortly. You can't say that, hey, I think that the Epstein didn't kill himself, because you cancel culture, and that's dangerous rhetoric. You're impacting the potential but non-existent victims if you say this. Let's hit play again if y'all thought I was lying.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
Who else would have any other information? See, that's the word game, but this is all going on at the same time. Mad Boy, you on the stage, unmute yourself. What you got to say? Do you disagree? And should I be canceled? Mad Boy, go ahead. Where you at?
Hey, I'm in Michigan, brother. What you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Should I be canceled? What's going on?
No, you should not be canceled, man. Look, ever since George Floyd and you showed up in fucking Minneapolis, bro, training, I've been on your side. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, growing up in Flint, bro, look, I've seen all kinds of dumb shit. I've been to escape America's around America. What fucking color you are?
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Mad Boy, you breaking up a little bit, but I appreciate you, bro. And I'm glad that you said that too, because a lot of people, they think that it's just going to be us sitting behind a microphone talking in front of cameras, and it's not. We out there doing the actual work. You breaking up bad, so I thank you tremendously for that.
Hey, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, man, you've been doing the good work. You know what I mean? Shit, absolutely. I got a BGM. Look, I got a BGM patch on my motherfucking airsoft carrier, bro.
That's right. That's right. I appreciate you, bro. All right. Listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it's about doing the work. It's about community. It's about making sure that we are genuinely engaged. When I'm telling y'all this stuff, I'm not telling y'all this like I'm just saying it because it sounds cool. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying this to y'all because I've been to damn near every state in America. I love our countrymen and women. Love y'all. I work for y'all. I'm telling you what Larry's saying right here. They are playing you. I told y'all a couple of days ago, as soon as I seen this, I'm like, oh, they about to start playing right in your face. And what they do. I'm telling y'all, we have to be sharper. We have to support each other. We have to get stronger. We have to develop networks. We have to question things. Because meanwhile, this whole time they pushing cancel culture. Don't be mad at me that I'm saying, hey, cancel culture is to get this thing okay so they can present legislation. Politics is downstream from culture. I'm not your enemy. The state is. I'm trying to make you be actually on point and not with the silly shit. That's my job. I work for y'all. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Guys, I'm going to wrap up there. Got a little homework assignment for everybody. Y'all lamed out last night. There's 600 people watching right now. If you're watching on X, hit the like button, share it all over the space, no doubt. I want every single person to donate $10 to the work. We are $3,600 earmarked. We keep earmarking money for women that want to take this class. I'm not going to allow the young lady that was stabbed to death in Charlotte, North Carolina, because we kind of glossed over her conversation. Appreciate you, Mad Boy. I got your email right after this too, bro. I'm not going to gloss over this because it was a serious death. That young lady didn't deserve that. As soon as I saw her sit on the train or whatever that was, I was like, damn. That's the first thing I thought. She sitting with her back. She in the phone zone. She 1,000% in condition white. And she died because she was killed. Okay? So I don't want to gloss over her death because of this crazy death with Charlie Kirk. So we're earmarking some of our resources, even though we're doing our building fund. We need about 900 more folks. Dre with the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Dre, that's your second one tonight, too. I think you had another one earlier. Thank you for that. Dre said, do the work. All of your super chats go towards the work. All of your donations support. My point in saying all of this is we want to earmark some resources to women that want to take classes for free. Ladies, if you want to take training, if you want to get the classes, shoot me a DM. Okay? Shoot me a DM. 1,000%, Pamela. We just forgot about her. I never met this lady. I don't know her. I've done classes in Charlotte, right? I like Charlotte a whole lot. Certain sections, very peaceful. I like the Carolinas in general. All right? But I don't want that to happen because this massive thing happens and then the argument about the government, did he do it? Is the Israeli government, da-da-da-da. What the best thing we can do is learn from that and make sure we're putting women in a position to never be in that position. So, ladies, if you want to get a class, if you watch it on X, shoot me a DM. My DMs are open. Okay? Get a class. Get a class. We are trying to get the next $3,600. Who give a fuck? Who GAF says, Maj, you're the one who changed my perception on politics. Let me send something. Please do. Please do. Thank you for that. My job is to challenge everybody and to push us all into improving. We solutionaries. I work for y'all, but I push y'all at the same time, and y'all push me. So I'm going to ask everybody, 600 of us, if everybody gave $10, $20, whatever, let's say 10. Let's just start there. 600 people giving $10, y'all can do the math. That gets double what we can because we're trying to earmark the next $3,600 for those women. How you can donate is givesendgo.com/solutionary. Let me put this on the, it's on the banner. Wherever you're watching at, if you're watching on X, it's my pinned post. Just hit the link on top of my page. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. If you're watching on any other platform, it's scrolling right at the bottom. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. Okay? Somebody put it in the chat for me on YouTube. You on X though. I don't know if you on X or YouTube. I think you on X. Renee says, Maj, here's a little something to help the cause. Don't agree with everything you say, but love everything you say. That's the beauty of the First Amendment. Exactly. I appreciate that, Renee. Appreciate you. Here's the link. It's on the screen. GiveSendGo. And it's in the chat on YouTube. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. It's 605 of you in here. I'm asking every single one of you to give $10. If you want to give 100, you get access to all of the classes, all of the curriculums, all of the meal plans, all of that. Who gives a fuck says, I'm on X, so where do I see it? Let me just post it. Let me type it real quick. What's your handle on X, bro? I'm going to repost it right now. It's my pinned post, but I'm going to repost it. So if y'all watching on X, it's the post that I just reposted. The link is there. It's a video saying the Maj 2 ratio is like 60 seconds. All right? Everybody support that. If every single person in here gives $10, y'all know the math. We all can do math. We cannot recognize what's wrong. Recognize that the left or right, okay? The left or right is not coming to help us. They're not. They're actually working against us. So if we understand that, we have to work with each other. Every donor at the $100 level, just imagine this. Imagine if every donor, there's 617 of y'all watching. Let's say 600. Imagine if 300 people gave $100. And we can. Y'all got it. It's not my money. It's to help. But that's a whole nother conversation. But if everybody gives $10, we get some more women. And women, I don't want y'all to do that shit that y'all do. And men, let me be clear. If you're a man and you can't afford the class, if you cannot afford it, shoot me a damn DM. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm literally the most down-to-earth person you will ever meet. I be talking to everybody. I be at a restaurant. I just sit down. Aaron says, how do we donate on YouTube? It's in the chat. It's on the screen and it's in the chat. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. All right. I'm going to hide it and redo it again. It's in the chat. It's at the bottom. $ in the circle. I guess that's what you mean. I don't know if you mean super chat or whatever. But think about this. Anybody that knows me, I'm super down to earth. Shoot me a DM. It's not a bot. I promise you. Somebody DM me right now. I'll call out who it is. Why am I saying that? It's because we got to get past this concept of like this Hollywood fake leader. The brother that called in earlier. I went to where George Floyd was murdered a few days after and taught a firearms class in front of where George Floyd was murdered. Okay? Shoot me a DM. Who gives a fuck? Shoot me a DM. He's saying it's gonna be easier. Bro, is you on X? Where you at, bro? Where you at? Shoot me a DM and I'll send you the link. My point though, guys, is this work gets done because of the support. We cannot, you women and men, don't let your ego be like, nah, I ain't gonna send him. Listen, man, I'm a good dude. I'm not Hollywood, and I understand the fucking struggle. You ain't got no money for no fucking class right now? Boom. We're gonna work together. Everybody should work together to pay it forward for others. If I say 600 and now 37, 38 people that's watching should donate $10, and it's like, yo, it's $10. Here you go, Maj. Here you go. Boom. Cool. And I say women and men, there are people that are willing to help you. No woman should be out here in condition white. If you don't know what condition white is, and what I mean when I say that, you definitely should take the damn class. Just shoot me a DM. Shoot me an email. You see what I'm saying? This ain't like, all right, boom. Who gives a fuck? Just DM me. I want you to, let me do this real quick, y'all. Real quick. Who GAF? Let the chat know when you got a DM from me in response. I just sent it. Why I keep saying it on every show? Why I say that on every show is because we got to get past this like I hate a so-called leader that's all bougie, that show up all perfect and can't engage with you. That's not what this is. I work for y'all. I work for y'all. Okay? Mad Boy says, I haven't figured out how to DM. Shoot me. I got your email right after this, Mad Boy. I'm going to send you all of that after that. Okay? Why I'm saying this is because we got to shift the culture, meaning when people are leaders and they work for y'all, they got to be accessible. Everybody that joins, that donates at the $100 level, literally, my solutionaries in our private community could literally call me. Literally. We all in a private group. They could literally call me. Yo, what's up? Right? That's for the people that give more. We come up with your macros, your meal plans, your workout routines, shooting drills. This is not a game. We got to be holistic. We have to create a culture that means leading from the front and engaging. Y'all see so many of these people that act like they for the people, they this, that, and you don't never fucking see them. There's people in here, in this chat, that was like, yo, Maj, you came to my town. Yep, and I was hanging out. I literally tweet, if I'm in somebody's town, yo, I'm having food at this restaurant. If you want to pull up, come on. That's what leadership means. I work for y'all, but I need y'all help. It's almost 700 people in here. Think about that. We gave, I know we watched the football, and I get it. Everybody might not be able to give it the $100. Most of y'all can. Most of y'all can. You get an email from us that says, yo, you about to get an email. Somebody just gave 100. Aaron, I ain't going to say your whole name. Aaron gave $100. Vincent, I ain't going to say your whole name, gave $10. Okay? I'm about to email y'all. Y'all about to get an email saying, yo, you about to get access to the bop. All of your meal plans, macros, workout routine, access to that private community. We have to develop networks. This system, once you isolate it, separate it, and excommunicate it, we will not let that happen. We will support the most vulnerable of us. Y'all women are just out here. Mad Boy says, got me on Facebook. Okay. Y'all women are just out here. Y'all just out here. Your little ass shoulders, don't work out, don't got no situational awareness. And I get you. You should be able to do that. You should be able to. But you're not. So we want you to get more involved. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. If you watch it on X, it's my pinned post. If you can't find it for some reason, I just reposted it. But if you can't, shoot me a DM. I'll send you the link. 645 people in here. Everybody donate $10. Come on, y'all. Everybody we fucking a coffee? A Starbucks coffee? Y'all be in Starbucks with the extra grande frappe lappe lappe dappy, whatever that shit is called. Support each other. I didn't say buy me the Bentley. I'm telling y'all the Illuminati's probably going to come buy me the Bentley in a couple of years. If I keep making progress and making change, before they take you out, they offer you money. That's what they said they offered Charlie Kirk, $150, $150, $150 million. He said no. Okay? Yeah, y'all, bookworm be mocha frappa chappa latte, grande, right? It's $10, y'all. The Illuminati ain't come by me yet, and I'm not telling y'all to buy me a Bentley. There will be signs when the Illuminati's got me. My skin gonna be clearer. I'm gonna damn near be levitating above all of y'all, but it's gonna be 2 motherfucking Bentleys, black and white, Continental GT. But until then, I doubt they will. But until then, y'all, on a serious note, 600 people in here. Just donate $10. If you can donate $100, cool. But we have to work together to make sure that the most vulnerable of our population has the soft and hard skills and the tools to be able to defend themselves. We talk about these things in the show, and that's awesome. We create talking points to make sure we don't, but at the same time, we need boots on the ground. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Thank y'all all. We went over long tonight. Gave y'all a lot of energy tonight. Okay? Mad Boy is right. Airsoft is 1,000% an amazing way to get rounds coming back and to increase your adrenaline when somebody's trying to shoot you without being in an actual shootout. All right. So givesingo.com/solutionary. Thank you all for tapping in. $10, y'all. Don't wait. Do it. Just do it. Engage me in the DMs and all of that. I'll be chopping it up with y'all for a little bit. I think I'm going to fundraise from now until midnight. All right. givesingo.com/solutionary. Thank you all for tapping in. I'll see y'all all tomorrow. YouTube.com/Maj2Ray, Rumble.com/Maj2Ray, X.com/Maj2Ray999, Big Daddy 2Ray on Instagram. I'll see y'all all tomorrow. Be safe. Be solutionary.